Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 and the members are Jenny Setiliana, Elvino Pitasari, and Madina Al-Zahra. This is our presentation video about tax analysis, and the first material will be explained by me. Tax analysis. Careful consideration must be taken to ensure that there is a clear understanding of what learners are to know or are able to accomplish by participating in instruction. Coming to this understanding requires the identification of the type of content that will make up the instruction and in what sequence this content should be provided. The systematic process used by instructional designers to accomplish this is typically called tax analysis. It is important to note that you may find the instructional designer refer to tax analysis as a content analysis, a subject matter analysis, or learning tax analysis. Okay, next slide. Popular approaches to tax analysis. Numerous approaches to tax analysis exist that have developed by instructional design scholars and practitioners. The approaches vary based on the content surrounding the instruction that needs to be developed. Most approaches have similar elements, although their procedures may be slightly different. The various approaches to tax analysis are important to understand as you develop your own knowledge of how process is accomplished. Okay, that's all for me. So the next material will be explained by Elvi.
My name is Elvino Pitasari and I will continue the explanation. Task analysis procedures. The different approaches described in the previous section share the common goal of gathering information about the content and or task that will make up the instruction that needs to be developed. Each approach has its own specific set of techniques that help to accomplish this goal. It is beyond the scope of this book to describe the techniques of each approach in great detail. You will most likely be able to study these approaches and their techniques in depth during more advanced instructional design courses you will take, and specifically one on task analysis. Next, involving a subject matter expert. An additional element that all the approaches emphasize is the need for a subject matter expert, referred to as an SME, to be part of the task analysis process. The job of the SME is to help the instructional designer gather the necessary information about the content and or tasks that will be used to develop the instruction. In some instances, the instructional designer may work as the SME because of his or her expertise in the content. In most task analysis procedures, instructional designer work with an SME, and an SME is individual who is an expert in the content area that will make up the instruction being developed. SMEs play a critical role in the task analysis process by providing insights into what makes up the content and how it should be sequenced. Okay, next, task analysis documents. With all task analysis procedures, the result is a document created by the instructional designer that depicts the content and or tasks.
Okay, the next materials is about influencing factor. So the task analysis approach that an instructional designer will use depends on the context that surrounds the instruction that need to be developed. A major influencing factor in the approach that is selected is the goal of the instruction. The goal of the instruction will relate it to the type of the context or the task that will make up the instruction. For example, if the goal of the instruction is for learners to know how to change a flat tire, the task analysis approach that should be used will be one that is the best suited for analyzing production tasks. An important thing to remember regarding task analysis is that no single approach works for every situation. Okay, the next materials is about evaluating a success of the task analysis. So probably one of the most effective methods for determining the success of your task analysis during the design development of this instruction is to ask a subject matter expert who was not a part of the task analysis to look over what you created and evaluated it for the accuracy and thoroughness. This formative evaluation activity will provide a valuable perspective that you can use to compare to the data and you created during your task analysis. Another method of the evaluated the effectiveness of your task analysis is to compare it to the other evaluate information that has been created during the instructional design process, such as a learner's analysis. And the last slide is talk about the task analysis and the instructional design process. A task analysis is vital in the helping an instructional designer to identify the tasks or the tasks that guided the instruction being developed. A task analysis should help you answer the following question regardless of the approach taken. For the first, what is the task that individuals need to be able to accomplish of your perform? And the second, what are the key components of this task, or that is the skill and knowledge an individual need in order to successfully complete or perform the task. Okay, I think that's all our materials. Thank you for your nice attention, and let's I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.